Hello, BNI. I'm Jennifer Belanger with Back Pocket Studios, and I am here today, lucky to get to host an online feature presentations for Year 2 Golden Gems, Mark Cherkowski with Promark Business Solutions and Phil Duncan with Pendragon Solutions. How are you guys today?
Doing great, Jen.
Yeah, hi, Jen.
So, you guys, you are doing something brand new here, this online presentation. This is kind of a new adventure.
A little bit different than standing in front of everybody, that's for sure.
Yeah. So what made you guys want to do a joint feature presentation today? That's different.
I think that Phil and I work together really well with our businesses. They mesh really good. And so, I'm having customers come in that are new businesses or startups or businesses that are looking to kind of take themselves to the next level. So that's a great fit for people who should speak to Phil, and Phil is getting the same sort of customers coming to him, and some of those he can pass on to me. So we work well together, so it's a perfect fit for a feature presentation.
Yeah. Well, you guys work together quite a bit, and I kind of know the background on some of this, but it is kind of a unique situation. So how do you guys actually work together, Phil?
Well, we find that, as Mark was saying, a lot of our clients are in positions where they need our services, and they need them, in order to work best with the other people, and we do it with you as well, Jen. So having a website done with Mark, for example, if you're a new company, relies on you knowing what message that you want on your website, the theme, what your brand is going to be, and maybe having your logo done, etc., etc. And so before you can actually do your website, for example, it would be a good idea to work with me on your company to make sure we determine that the angle that the website is going to take, is going to look like going forward, is exactly what you want for your company. So that would be a really good example how both pieces of the puzzle fit nicely together with ourselves. And as you know, the social media elements and things that both you and Mark work on, fit in nicely with the web design and with their marketing, which I'm working on with them often generally too.
Well, and what I love about you guys, it's almost like a bit of a filter system. So it might start with Phil. Phil kind of digs everything out and creates this great, awesome plan and some ideas. And then it goes down to Mark, but Mark's always got his really great ideas as well. And then it kind of goes through and then back and forth between the two. So your clients are kind of getting it from all levels. Do you feel that COVID-19 has currently affected your business?
For me, I guess I've had to move all my customer contact online. I think one of the big reasons that I won a lot of customers over is that I was willing to come and meet them face to face and have coffee with them or come to their office. It's just not the kind of service that you'd usually get from a web designer kind of personality. So I think that kind of set me apart. So obviously I missed that. But it's definitely, opened up some other options. I'm doing some more out of town business now. So I've got people in Calgary and Northern Alberta and other areas who are needing services. And because I'm doing a lot of stuff online, then, I'm comfortable doing that stuff over the phone as well. So.
Perfect. And what about you, Phil?
I would say a very similar situation. In fact, it sort of pushed me in a direction that I knew I should go with my business development consults and with Pendragon, but was reticent to do so. I like meeting people, same as Mark, face to face, and therefore, but it limits the scope of the area that you deal with. And so, buying the technical, bits and pieces from Kyle in order to be able to do it, and then actually working with Mark, and he gave me a hand to get things sorted and online, to be able to do business development consults online has been a big change for me in adapting to that as well. And actually Ken, when I was chatting to him the other day, said as well about adjusting the pace at which I do the consults perhaps would be a better idea online, because they need to be a little bit slower, because you're not face to face, and that body language isn't quite as obvious as evident. So yes, I've had to adapt mine too, but I think it's a positive adaptation that's going to suit me better in the future.
Well, and I think both of you guys are going to see some positivities come out of what changes you have made. Being online allows you just to go so much farther and do so many different things. But you already have created all of your strengths in person. So now you can take it online and be quite powerful with it, I think, which is pretty neat. So now that we know that you kind of have made some changes, what about with the changes that people are making in their company right now with this pandemic happening? How are you able to specifically help them right now?
For me, there's a couple of different things. I'm getting a lot of customers who knew that they should be online, several years ago, but they're now, that everything's shut down, realizing how far behind they are, and so they're obviously very eager to get things moving forward. Whether it's just a website, I've got people now doing, Google ads and stuff like that to drive traffic, obviously, because everything's kind of slowed down. So some weird examples would be like local grocery stores need an efficient way to take home delivery orders and stuff like that. So those are the kinds of people that we're helping, people that realize I'm not online at all and I have to get there. And because the economy is slow to crawl kind of right now, I'm affordable as well. So, I can do monthly payments even. So the buy-in price is extremely low. So that's kind of the direction that I'm going right now.
Well, and it's super important too, because if you've been kind of following online, internet usage is through the roof right now. So people are online more than they've ever been. So now's the time to invest in that website and to do it right.
Yep.
It's funny, we're all used to the Amazons and stuff like that online where you can order, but they're not local. That's going to be the change that's going to happen here, I think, with a lot of these websites, is now people are going to start ordering local products online, and that's something that you can completely help with.
Yep.
So what about you, Phil?
Yeah, and just following on from what you said, both of us are small family businesses and we are local, and we do like helping local. For me, sort of now it has been really, and you started this, Jen, by getting people to look at their bank statements and credit cards, look at being more efficient, and look at, now that they've got the time to look at what they were spending money on that they shouldn't have been spending money on, and refining it, and do you really need to have that subscription or this subscription, for example. So, and a logical lead on for that is the policies and procedures and the lean efficiency studies that my wife Kirsty does. And so we've been doing a lot of those at the moment. People have realized that, they should make the most of the time that they have when things are a little slower to become a more efficient, more streamlined, business, because it will springboard them into the future as they go forward. So a lot of what we're doing now from Pendragon is along those lines. But what I'm really looking for is and would be my ask really in a great referral, is companies prior to being able to start up, that they put a plan in place as to what they are going to do when they can start up. And so working with me before they open is a key thing. Because we were looking at questions that maybe they haven't looked at before, maybe weren't in their initial plan at the beginning of the year. But are their supply chains still intact? Are the companies that they used to buy their products from still around, on all the services? Is the market very different? Have a lot of their competitors gone out of business? Are they going to suddenly, rather than, have trouble starting up, be absolutely swamped when they've started up? Say you were a hairdresser in an area where there are not a lot of hairdressers and you're the only one who survives, you can guarantee you'll be swamped as soon as the market opens. So those kind of things, and putting together a really good plan as to what to look for. Even your own staff, if you don't have the same staffing as you had before, working out who's doing what in your business is important. And of course, it leads into outsourcing and things that we talk about when we're doing consults together.
Well, and one thing I think of for you right off the bat, for both of you guys and your services, is the fact that a lot of times businesses don't have time to make these changes. So these might have been changes that people have been thinking about for years. You have time to do it right now. And by making them and to be able to hit the ground running when the world starts to open up and open up at different paces, that is how you're going to shine and gain even some profit shares. So as you say, as some go out of business, other companies are going to grow. But it's how did you spend that time at home? And I think both of your services really fall into making that success plan for reopen, which I think is an important piece. So you talked a little bit about your asks and referrals. What would be an ask or referral for both of you? So if somebody in the group sent you something, what would benefit both of you right now?
A couple of different things. I mean, the most important thing would be a customer or a business that has the will to go on, right? Like some
Hmm.
people just, this stuff happens and the sky's falling and they're just going to curl up and die. That's not really the kind of customer that we're going to be able to help the most. The one is the people with some positivity and, the grit, and they're going to pull up their pants, and those are the kind of people we want to work with some drive and some energy and some excitement and stuff like that.
That's a good
And for,
point.
yeah, and for me, it's people perhaps who are very good at what they do. They're a very good electrician and they're starting, but there's, they haven't had the same background in IT and websites and business development, etc. And so we can work with those people who are already good at what they do to make their whole company a lot better generally. So, any new startups, any small, new, young businesses, we can really help them, or even some businesses who've been in business for a long time and maybe stagnated and I haven't, added new technology and concepts and ideas that Mark could help them with online, or needs an injection of creativity that's just going to get them looking in a different angle. Ken and I, again, were doing it the other day and looking at some bits and pieces with Chris Levitt. So it is definitely, those are good referrals for us.
Well, and one thing I love about absolutely both of you is the fact that you're so cost effective and so custom to that client. So depending what that person has for a budget, for time restraints, whatever it is, you have something that can help them. And that's an amazing thing right now to start on while everyone is home.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing the things that we did talk about, what else do you want to talk about today? Anything else come to mind?
Yeah, I think we should highlight that, we're talking about how we, the three of us, particularly pass business backwards and forwards because we have a very similar client base. But we should point out in a wider BNI context, really, that that referrals that come into us often, get referred outwards. If I'm dealing with a small company that's not buying their office supplies from Kyle, then that's a good referral. If they're haven't got any commercial insurance or, for their new business, then they should be talking to Ryan. Or if they haven't even got an office, and are looking for an office space, then maybe I'm passing them on, I am passing them on to Jeremy Mackler for him to help them with. Mark, you've got a few too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly easy with the customers that are in the location that we're dealing with, because Phil's going to be talking to them about efficiency and not doing the stuff that you don't want to do. So like bookkeeping, for example, those ones are an easy referral to Marna. Do they have an office with several staff? There's going to be a lot of thinking going on in cost cutting. And so do you need to talk to Terry and have him look at your phone system and have a look at, what you're paying for printing services and stuff like that. And then just the IT setups, whether it's just, you've got your one laptop that you run your business from, but it's 12 years old, or do you need a Zoom setup and something that Troy can help you with? So there's lots of opportunities for the kind of people we work with.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are others, but, but we feel that's an important point to add, Jen.
That's perfect. Well, thank you so much, guys. Have a great week at BNI. I think your presentation was awesome. Miss all of you, and can't wait to hear more about everyone's success in the rest of the year. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, Jen.